Hey guys, what's going on? It's your girl, Circus of Fun here, and today guys, I am bringing another SFM tutorial because I don't know how many animators or people know about this, but I came across it and learned about it, so I thought why not share my knowledge with you all about this little detail. Today, I will be demonstrating how to add your own custom textures into SFM, and of course, I might not get everything right because I am not a texture genius yet, but we're just gonna hobble on and see what we can come up with. And if you want me to cover any other stuff in SFM, feel free to leave your questions down in the comments and I will look at them and I will see if I can figure out a solution to that problem or question and do a tutorial on it, because I want to do more tutorials and help you guys. And if this tutorial does help you and you'd like to see more, feel free to subscribe and stick around. You'll see more tutorials like this, and you will also get access to really cool content such as 3D animations, reaction videos, and much more. But enough about my rambling, let's just get into this. So as you can see, we are once again back in the ancient software of SFM. Very ancient, I know. Grandpa's old. So what we're going to do is we're going to minimize SFM for a quick hot second, and then we are going to look up an image or any image, and I'm pretty sure SFM only supports JPEGs or PNGs, but we are going to look up an image. So for example, red texture. So as you can see, we got some red textures. Very nice, very nice. So yeah, we're just gonna basically pick a random texture, and like you could look up anything, like literally anything. But we're gonna hop back into SFM really fast. We're going to get a model. Let's do Circus Baby because we're looking at red and red suits her. So why not? Let's do CB. So as you can see, we got the big baby right here. So what you wanna do, this is where it comes in handy. You want to go back to wherever you're getting your texture. And also, one thing that I did not cover is if you use Canva, like it's totally optional, but Canva is the thing that I use for my thumbnails, posters, and stuff, yada yada. But you can go in here, background color, and there's lots of elements too, like different graphics and stuff. So yeah, you can make like an image here too for your texture. You just need to go here to File, Download, and then PNG or JPEG, whatever you prefer, and then just download it right there. That's one way I think you can make a texture too. Correct me if I'm wrong. So we're just going to pick a texture really fast. Maybe look, because like I'm still trying to figure this out, but maybe look at where the edges of the picture end, like if it's a square, because if you download this and then put it onto a model in SFM, there's a slight chance that it may cut off suddenly. You maybe want one with no vigente. I could be saying that absolutely wrong. You know, like when like the corners of a picture like, you know, fade and stuff, you don't really want that for a texture because, you know, the cutting off and stuff. But we're just going to pick this texture because it looks nice. And of course it's a JPEG, so we're going to save it, and you can save it wherever you want. So the next thing you want to do, where my arrow is you want to right click on the model, add override materials. And then once you do that, you right click on the model again, show an element viewer, model. And then when you go in here, you can see you got all these new things, and don't worry, don't feel overwhelmed. This is actually pretty simple. You don't need to focus on all this stuff up here. You just need to go down to materials, click on the plus sign, and then these are basically all the parts for the model. So you see you got hair, you got eye, you got blue eyes, and you can like experiment with these too, because some may be hard to find the textures, because you'll know that you have a texture if it turns like a checkerboard, black and pink. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to suit 2 because that could be the red part we're just going to see. You want to go to suit 2, right click on it, add attribute, hover, add attribute, wow, English, hover over that, and then stream. You want to do stream, and then new attribute, you can just exit that out, blah, blah, blah. And then type in $ base texture, like that, and then press enter, and then boom, you can see that it turned into a black and pink checkerboard. So that means that that does not have any textures. You want to go to the same thing, but click on the plus sign. So then that is where we're going to put the file location for our texture. Now pay attention closely because I got confused too at first when I was trying to figure this out. But you want to open up your files, downloads, then you want to copy your picture. But first things first, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have VTF Edit on your computer. And if you don't have it, don't worry, I will leave a link to the download for VTF in the description. And do be careful when you download it, because there's a zip file and there is a executable file that's not a zip file. But be careful when you do that, because the zip file for me, when I tried downloading that, it crashed my whole computer. It was a hot mess. You get the idea. So I just downloaded the file that was not a zip file. So please be careful when you do that. There's two different types with a major difference in size. We're going to go to VTF Edit, and you can find this wherever. I personally type it down here in the search bar because it's easier. And then what you want to do is go to File, Import, and then this is where you're going to import your PNG or JPEG. And press OK. Basically, it's going to create two files, a VMT and a VTF, and you want both of them. So options, you can go right here too, and you want to make sure that auto create VMT file is on. So then you don't have to worry about more steps. Then you want to go to File, Save As, and then you can title this whatever you want. I will title it Red Texture. So basically what you want to do is wherever your SFM files are located. For me, it's this PC and then in the local disk. If it's in the local disk for me, it probably will be for you. But I'm going to go to my local disk, click on that. Program files times 86. Probably be different depending on the computer. And then Steam, Steam Apps, Common, Source Filmmaker, Game, User Mod. And then correct me if I'm wrong, I probably don't know this, but maybe there's a chance that you can put it in the workshop too, but I think that's just for workshop stuff. So you can see that we're in user mod. This time you want to go to materials, models, and then it will look empty here. It's not actually empty, let me just say that. So we're going to save this, and then we're going to minimize that just in case. So we're going to go to user mod again, materials, models, scratch that. Big dumb brain. You're actually supposed to put it in the workshop files. Oopsie doopsie. But yeah, you should put that in the workshop files instead in the same order, because Circus Baby equals workshop model, if that makes sense. You want to go to this PC, local disk. Good thing that I got that out of the way, right? So you know what is and what isn't. We're gonna go to Steam again, Steam Apps, Common, Source Filmmaker, Game. You can see that we're in the workshop now. You want to go to materials, models, and then boom, you can see that it's not empty. That's what we want. So in this case, you can also go to the Steam workshop. You can go to home or wherever your model that you're subscribed to is. You want to go to subscribed items and then click on the model. And then you can go down here and see that the person will usually put a file location to where the model is located, which can make things easier and more efficient. But you can see that there's Circus Baby, and it starts with TM. So you can see that we have TM right here. You want to click on that. And then you can see that it goes to SL VR Pack. You want to click on that. And then you can see that you got the models in here. And then Circus Baby falls under Fun Times. So you want to go to Fun Times, and then boom, you can see that you have Circus Baby. So then you can see all the textures are in here. And if you ever want to delete the textures that you custom made, go ahead. It won't affect the model. It will just get rid of the textures that you custom made. Don't worry. We're going to switch back to user mod really fast where I incorrectly placed the textures. You want to make sure that you copy both of these. Don't miss one. And then you want to go back to where we were before. Okay, you can see we're back here. So now you want to go to whatever model you have again. In this case, for me, it's Circus Baby. And then you will paste your textures here like so. Boom. So this is where the magic happens, the final steps. You can do this whatever way you want. That will help. But for me, I personally like to take out my notepad because this is where some of the typing begins. To make things easier, you can copy this. You don't need to copy the MDL. And then right before TM, you want to put models. So then SFM will know where you're getting your texture from. You want to make sure the line is facing the same way so it doesn't get confused. And then after your model name, you're going to put the texture that you have. In this case, I called it red texture. And then you can double check to make sure that that is correct. You can see that the R is actually capitalized, so we're going to fix that. And then to test things out, we're going to copy this whole thing, and then we're going to paste this in here and then press enter. Don't worry, it did change. It probably looks like it didn't change. And to prove that, we're just going to pick this crazy texture right here. I'm going to repeat the whole process again. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in a second. Okay, so we are back. Now I am going to, you won't believe what I called it, red E. So you can see the textures are once again in here, but this time the name has changed. So this is just a minor change, but you want to go back here. You do not want to change that. You want to go to where the name of your texture is, in case you change the name. So in this case, I changed it to red E. Insert meme here. That's the only change that we needed to make. So now we can copy this again. I will prove to you guys that this does change. Boom! As you can see, the texture did change. I'll show you guys the little issue that I'm talking about. You can see that right here where my arrow is, it kind of cuts off. That's the issue. This looks kind of fire on her though, not gonna lie. But yeah, basically that is how you make your own custom texture. I hope this tutorial did help, and if you did enjoy this tutorial and it did help and you'd like to see more content, feel free to subscribe and stay around. And of course, once again, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments. I'd be happy to do a tutorial on any questions if I can figure out the solution to that question. But I appreciate you all. Thanks so much for staying around. Love you guys. I will see you all in the next video. Bye bye.